What is up, guys, and welcome to the second episode of the GeoGuessr Beginner Tips series I'm doing. And today is going to start the continental region dives. I'm going to do one video on each continent. And today we're going to be starting with North America. Sorry for the delay in bringing out another video. I've been a little bit busy lately, but I do appreciate the great response and great reaction from the first video. I hope you guys enjoy this well, and I hope you find it helpful for you. Okay, so we're going to start off here in the United States. And as we're going to see here, one of the most important things to easily recognize the United States that you'll see all the time is the U.S. flag right here. You can't really see it too well from this angle, but I'm sure a lot of you probably already know it. If not, I can put a picture up on the screen here on the side. But the Americans love to put their flag everywhere, so you'll definitely be seeing that a lot, and that will definitely help you out, especially if you're playing moving rounds. If you're not moving, that may not help you as much as some of the others. Another important thing to note is road lines. Usually we'll have white outside road lines and double yellow in the middle. Sometimes there will be one yellow line and a dashed yellow, meaning you can pass another car. But most of the times you're going to see double yellow. Another important thing to know are going to be some of these speed limit signs. Now these aren't the exact speed limit signs that I'll show you after this, but you can see here it says MPH, which stands for miles per hour. And you know you can't be in Canada because they use the metric system, so theirs will always be km/h. So if you see MPH like this for a speed, you're going to be in the United States. So this right here is an example of a US speed limit signs. When you see the word speed limit and then a number like this, these are the US speed limit signs. You won't see them anywhere else, and they're usually quite spread out and good over the place. So seeing these is going to be a very good hint to know. This is also an example of US highway street signs. You see this little shape here is the shape for a U.S. highway, and some of the states will have their state highways as well. You see this is a Georgia highway with the state outline in there. But this is what the U.S. highway crest is going to look like, so that's also important to know. Another good hint for something that you may not see too often, but these USPS cars, so that stands for United States Postal Service, you'll only see these mail trucks in the United States. Like I said, you might not see them often, but if you do see them, you'll know for sure that you're in the U.S. Alright, now we're going to move on to Canada, and it's definitely hard to see from here. You can't really make it out at all. But this is the Canadian flag. I'll put a picture up on the screen here again so you can see it, since this angle isn't good, with the red maple leaf in the middle, red on both sides, and white down the middle. You won't see it as often as the U.S., but it also will be helpful for you. Also in Canada, usually we'll have double yellow lines as well, but you can also have one yellow line in the middle of the road. So you'll have yellow road lines in the middle and white on the outside, just like the US. Now right here, one of the tips that I have down here, it is more of a region hint. This stop sign right here that says arrête, I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing that right, but it's a French stop sign, and because Quebec, they speak French Canadian. So this stop sign says arrête on it. You will only see that in Quebec. So if you see it, definitely can region guess Quebec there. So here is another region tip. This white bollard with two black strips on the top of it. This is the Alberta bollard. So if you see this, you know you're going to be in the province of Alberta. So pretty much guaranteed decent Canada guess if you see this. So now on to our next country, which is going to be Mexico. One hint I'll point out, I'm pretty much going to point these out in most, because if you see them, they're a very good teller. But this is the Mexico flag. I'll have it on the screen again for you so you can see it better. But if you see the flag, obviously you're going to be in Mexico, so that's always a great hint to have. So in Mexico, most of the time you will see this car, usually which is the Gen 3 or Gen 2 car. You have the little stubby antenna, which we do usually the Latin America car. It's a white car, it has this little stubby antenna. Mexico can have Gen 2, Gen 3, and Gen 4 coverage. And some of the Gen 4 coverage, you'll see the blue car, which I can show later for the tips. But also, this is a very, very specific hint. If you see the rifts in the sky here, they're very rare to see, but you can only see them in Oaxaca, which is right here on the map. So if you see Gen 3 coverage like this is, and you have rifts in the sky, 99% of the time you're going to be in Oaxaca. So here's an example of Mexico Gen 4 coverage. You're going to have this blue car. So if you see that, and if you're in Latin America, usually it's going to be in Mexico. That's pretty reliable. Also, of course, it's important to note that the language in Mexico is Spanish. So if you see Spanish, obviously you won't be in the US or Canada, for example. So here are some of the Mexican highway signs. This little crest shape, it'll also have Mexico at the top and the highway number. So these are also very good indications on the street. So this is an example of a Mexican stop sign. It's not only specific to Mexico, but usually in the Latin American region. So Costa Rica, which we'll talk about, and Guatemala, which we'll talk about, also uses these alto stop signs. It's typical to Latin America, and this will help you distinguish to South American countries because they use pare on their stop signs. So this is very helpful to know and extremely good hint to find. I've also been looking around, but I can't find one. The Mexican bollards, you don't really see them that often, but I'm put a picture up on the screen for you to see so you can see what they look like, but it's also just specific to Mexico. So next up we have Greenland, and I don't really need to include much about this because, to be honest, you can really just tell by looking at it from the other North American countries what it looks like. But also we have a few different car metas. The main one really is this one with these, I can't really exactly tell what this is, but you can see here the two mirrors on the side and then a little bit of a rack up here. That'll be most commonly what you see in Greenland, and just by the typical vibe in general, you'll be able to tell what Greenland looks like. Alright, so the next country I'm going to cover is Guatemala. There's not too much to say for Guatemala, it hasn't already been covered, but I just talked about with the Mexican stop signs that say alto on it, which I'll put another picture up on the screen so you can see it again. You'll also see those in Guatemala. But the biggest hint for Guatemala is definitely the Google car. So you'll see the mirrors of the Google car on both sides, and you also see this four-legged roof rack that you'll see in Guatemala. So that is extremely important. This is the Guatemala car, so you definitely have to know this. And also, yellow center road lines, Spanish speaking as well, and that pretty much covers what you'll need to know for Guatemala. So next we're going to be talking about Costa Rica, and Costa Rica, if you remember my last video, is one of the trekker coverage countries. So you'll see a lot of this trekker coverage on sidewalks in the major cities. A lot of times you'll be in the capital, but there's also some coverage in cities outward. You'll also see the alto stop sign that I talked about before, yellow center lines, and you'll also have Spanish as well, the national language. So the trekker coverage is what will set Costa Rica apart from the rest. So the next country we're going to be looking at, we're going to the Caribbean now, is the Dominican Republic. The most important hint for the Dominican Republic is going to be this Google car. So it'll have the four-legged roof rack like the Guatemala car, but you won't see the mirrors, you'll just see the back of the car, and it'll be white. So if you have the roof rack and the white back of the car, you know for sure that you're going to be in the Dominican Republic. Also, the Spanish around is very important as well, national language. And also you'll see the pare stop sign instead of the alto stop sign, which I'll put a picture up of here to show you. And those are going to be the main hints that you're going to be in the Dominican Republic. In terms of guessing in the Dominican Republic, there's really only going to be two, and I'll show you here. Two main cities where coverage is going to be in, Santiago de los Caballeros up here, and then also Santo Domingo down here. Really the Google coverage, the official coverage, is going to just be in those two cities. On to the next country and territory that we're going to talk about is Puerto Rico, the United States territory. So here the most important thing is definitely going to be the car meta again, like most of these Caribbean countries and territories. This long antenna on the back right side of the car, maybe it's the front, can't really tell, but this long antenna to the right of the car, that'll really tell you're in Puerto Rico. You'll see similar things like this in Guam and NMI as well that we'll talk about in later videos, but this antenna in the Caribbean is going to be specific to Puerto Rico, combined with the Spanish. That's going to be very good hints and get you a good guess in Puerto Rico. So the next territory we're going to be talking about is the British territory island of Bermuda, and the most important thing here is going to be the Google car meta. You're going to have this black Google truck that you're really not going to see anywhere else. Also, it's important to note the left-hand side drive of the road, which you're not really going to see anywhere else in the Americas on GeoGuessr other than the U.S. Virgin Islands, which we will get to after this. So really this is all you're going to need to know for Bermuda. It's barely ever going to come up to see it, but if you do, at least now you know. So the next territory that we're going to talk about is the U.S. Virgin Islands. Another one where in these Caribbean countries a lot of really is what's going to be important is the car meta. So you can have a white truck and you can also have a red truck like this. With the roof rack visible as well, very obvious meta. Also a double yellow line most of the time, driving left-hand side of the road. But also, the trucks can tell you which island they're on, so the white truck can be on all of the islands, in the Virgin Islands, but this red truck can only be seen on the island of St. Croix. And I will quickly show you where St. Croix is at. St. Croix is going to be this southern island right here, while on these islands up here that are U.S. Virgin Islands, like St. Thomas and the other ones, you can see, I'll zoom in here. Here's the white truck with the roof rack. So these are the two car metas that you'll see in the U.S. Virgin Islands. So the penultimate one that we're going to quickly talk about here, not much to say for this one as well, is Curacao, the Dutch territory. So the most important thing by far is the Google car. Similar to Dominican Republic and Guatemala, you'll have the roof rack with the four-leggeds. And then, but instead of like a white front that you'll see in the Dominican Republic, you'll have a black back car that you'll see here. So if you have the black car back and the four-legged roof rack, you're going to be in Curacao. And also if you see some language, you might see some Dutch, which will also tell you you're in Curacao. So the last things we're going to cover here are the islands of Providencia and San Andres. They are islands that are territories of Colombia. So this is the San Andres Google car, long white truck, similar to the one in the U.S. Virgin Islands, but you won't see any roof racks here. So you'll just see the wide white Google truck. You'll know you'll be in San Andreas. And then if we go over to the island of Providencia over here, you can see it'll be a black truck as well. No roof racks either, just a black truck, and that'll tell you that you are in Providencia. So that is going to be it for today's tips video for North America. If you guys enjoyed it, please let me know down in the comments below. Leave a like on the video. Let me know what you want to see next, other than maybe some of the tip videos. Next, I'm going to do South America, so stay tuned for that. I hope these are going to help you. I hope it'll help you in your GeoGuessr journey to being better and maybe becoming a pro one day. So if you guys enjoyed, leave a like, comment down below, subscribe as well, and I'll see you in the next tips video.